Joining me now is Texas State Representative James Talarico. As of today, he is a candidate for the United States Senate. It's great to see you. What a big day you've had. Thank you for taking the time to join me. I just want to start with your announcement video, which I just played a portion of. And one of the things that struck me about it is you're standing in front of a church, which is a very clear choice. You've spoken about the growing Republican efforts in Texas to blur the lines between church and state, such as with the Ten Commandments bill. You've really been somebody that a lot of us have listened to in terms of how to think about these issues. Tell me about why it was so important to you to ground your campaign with the imagery of a church in the background.
Well, my faith is everything to me. It's why I'm in public service. I didn't start off my career in public service as an elected official. I started as a classroom teacher on the west side of San Antonio, and I got into this service both in the classroom and in public office because my faith teaches me to love my neighbor as myself. And so what I'm trying to do is improve the lives of my neighbors through public policy. Bring down prescription drug costs, bring down childcare costs, bring down housing costs for my neighbors. And that's why I'm in this. It's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate, is to love my neighbor as myself.
Let me ask you something else. I mean, as a Texas Democrat, and you and I have talked about this before, you're very familiar with what can and can't be done when you're outnumbered, and there are limitations. You're running for Senate at a time when Democrats in Washington have very few levers of power. I mean, negotiating over the shutdown of the federal government is one of those few levers of power. As you look as kind of an outsider, and you're certainly running as an outsider to what's happening in Washington, do you think Democrats in D.C. should be open to shutting the government down in a couple of weeks if that's necessary to really use their leverage?
I think national Democrats need to learn from red state Democrats, in particular Texas Democrats. This summer, my colleagues and I broke quorum to shine a national spotlight on Trump's redistricting power grab. We're in the minority, but we still know how to use every tool in our toolbox to fight for the people. Sometimes national Democrats use being in the minority as an excuse for inaction. It is not an excuse. We have to use every tool at our disposal to fight for the people of this country. And I hope to bring that Texas fighting spirit to our nation's capital if I'm elected as the next U.S. Senator from Texas.
It sounds like you're saying, but I don't want to put words in your mouth, that you think they should use the leverage of a government shutdown to force using their power to force action. Is that the comparison you're making to what Texas Democrats did?
Yeah, I think all options need to be on the table. But I also will tell you what's better than having to use all the tools in your toolbox is having a majority. It's something we don't have here in Texas yet, and it's something we don't have in the U.S. Senate yet. But this race in Texas may be the turning point in that battle. If we hope to get a majority in the U.S. Senate, we have to win this state in Texas. And listen, Jen, I get it. Texas has broken a lot of people's hearts over the last few years. But the last time we had a Trump midterm, Beto O'Rourke got within 2.5 points of a Republican senator. And so I'm hopeful that in this race, with the right candidate, we can make this race competitive and ultimately prevail so that we can secure that Senate majority in 2027.
You were one of the people I thought of a lot over the last couple of weeks in the wake of this school shooting in Minneapolis, and where so many of us were trying to make sense of what happened and what should happen from here. And the response from many Republican leaders was to call for thoughts and prayers. Of course, we all respect the value of prayer. I know you certainly do. And then attack anyone who said that is not enough, that thoughts and prayers are not enough. You're a deeply faithful person, as your announcement shows. What is your message to people out there who think prayer absolves them of the responsibility to take tangible action?
I believe in the power of prayer. I think prayer can change hearts and therefore change the world. But there is something profoundly cynical about asking God to solve a problem that we're not willing to solve ourselves. We know how to prevent mass shootings in this country. We know what policies work to keep people safe and honor the rights of gun owners. This is not that hard, but big money like the NRA is what's preventing us from making progress on this issue. And I refuse as a Christian to stay silent as people use my religion as an excuse for their inaction on this critical issue.
Texas State Representative James Tallarico, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Jen.